Today I want to share with you a super simple, easy, and effective way to rotate the tires on your car in your driveway with no additional tools that didn't already come with the vehicle. Let me show you how to do it. Hey there, welcome to Gander Flight. I'm Joshua. So the first thing you're going to do is park the vehicle and chalk the tires. Grab a brick, grab a piece of wood, grab wheel chocks, stick them underneath the tires so that the vehicle doesn't move while you're jacking it up. Next, head to the trunk and grab the spare tire, the jack, and the lug wrench. Now before you jack up any tires, make sure you choose which one you're going to start with and bring the spare tire out to that. Then while the vehicle's still on the ground, break the lug nuts loose with the lug wrench. Alright, so after you've loosened the lug nuts with the vehicle still on the ground, because if you lift it up and you start to unloosen those, to crack those lug nuts loose, the wheel's just going to spin on you. So do it while it's on the ground, while there's still weight on that wheel. And if you find that the last person that put the lug nuts on, they put them on too tight, you can't get them off, grab a pipe and extend your lever. Making your handle long makes your lever bigger, makes it easier to break these lug nuts loose. So after all those are loose on the one wheel, because we're going to do this one at a time, you're going to take your jack, you're going to find the jacking point. Usually there's going to be a spot along the sideboard that is reinforced to accommodate for the jack lifting the vehicle. You're going to find it, line it up, and then jack the vehicle up until there's daylight underneath the tires. Take the tire off. Now take your spare tire and put it back on. So now, so that we can take our jack to the other side to lift up that front passenger tire, we're going to put the spare on the back to hold up this end of the car. Eventually it'll work its way around so that the last tire will end up here. When we take this one off, get going. So when you're tightening lug nuts, always make sure to crisscross in a star pattern. So you're going to start on one side, tighten it down a little bit, go to the other side, tighten it down a little bit. And keep going crisscross in that star pattern so that you can evenly tighten the entire tire flat to the vehicle. Now we're going to take the tire that we just took off there to its new position. This one happens to be going to the passenger front, and then we're going to take the passenger front one and have it come straight back to the passenger rear, moving the tires around so we get back to this one. I found a really easy way to lift the tire up and also direct it where it needs to go so the studs line up with the holes. Is to stick your feet under there. Use your feet to lift it and your hands to guide it. Usually a lot easier than trying to lift and put it on with just your hands. So you hand tighten these lug nuts down when the tire's up in the air, then set it down, all the weight back on the vehicle. Then you torque them down. Ideally, you're going to be using a torque wrench to get these lug nuts to the correct specification recommended by the manufacturer. You can look in your owner's manual for that number. You can also do a quick Google search with your year, make, and model and type in lug nut torque and it'll give you that. You can get torque wrenches offline or at some automotive stores or hardware stores. It really just makes all the difference in making sure that your tires are properly seated and that you're safe running down the road. So on the side of the road, you can just use the supplied lug wrench, just crank it down. But when the first time you get a chance, stop by a tire shop and ask them to check the torque on your lug nuts. They'll be happy to do so. Nobody wants tires flying off driving down the road. So get those lug nuts properly torqued. Remember, going in this star pattern crisscross to get that tire evenly seated up on the hub. And by this process of rotating it all the way around, you're going to move tire to tire all the way through the sequence, eventually getting back to the tire you started on with the spare tire. And the spare tire can go back in the trunk after you check the tire pressure. It's a really good time to do that. The way that I'm going to do it is on my vehicle, the front tires are going to rotate straight back and the back tires are going to crisscross forward. So driver's rear is going to end up at the passenger front. The passenger front is going to end up at the passenger rear. The passenger rear is going to end up at the driver front, and the driver front is going to end up at the driver rear. Then we're going to take the spare tire and put it back in the trunk. So there you go, a super simple and easy way to change your tires in your driveway with no additional tools other than the jack and the spare tire that came with your vehicle. If you're getting some value from this, show me some appreciation down below. Share with someone who might be needing to rotate their tires in their driveway but don't have a commercial jack. Check out everything else we're doing at Gander Flight. If you're into DIY projects or RV related things, check out our free groups down below. Until next time, I'm Joshua. You've been watching Gander Flight. Take care and pay forward.